stream. So, and that'll be true for Aiken. You saw that groundbreaking at Aiken. Well, we could be doing the final groundbreaking on the last edition 25 years from now if things continue the way they are. And the same thing can be said of just about all of our schools that need major reconstruction. Get these off. So the board formed a committee to look at funding options. We reported out on May the 22nd. I'm just going to quickly let you take a look at that and see what we came up with. And I'm going to ask you to help us a little bit tonight. This right now represents the best of our thinking about what's available. We're going to go to the delegation in November after election and talk to them about this. We need you at the end of my presentation to just kind of do a constructive so what about this. Is there any missing chunk of thinking that we didn't engage in? Is there something that just doesn't pass the ho-ho test? Because we want to move forward with the recommendations you're going to see at the end, but we want to make sure that from not only a board and an administrative standpoint, but from a community standpoint, from a North Augusta standpoint, that this represents good, solid thinking and critical analysis. Are going to receive us Monday after the November election, whatever that is. Let's see that.
The 12th.
The 12th. So we're going to meet with them on the 12th. We're going to show them this study that we did and the conclusions we came to, and that from our standpoint, it's our recognition of the fact that if Aiken County is to get the revenue it needs to start taking care of its facilities the way they need to be, then we need to be able to access that 1% sales tax. What they will have to do, the delegation, if they said, yeah, we see you need this, they would then have to introduce special legislation just for Aiken County, or they would have to get with other members, their colleagues, and try and get that state legislation passed so that the penny sales tax was not limited by the $7 million accommodation tax. Not sure that we have a preference as long as we got the penny sales tax. But without it, we're going to be very slow in getting to where we need to go. We're going to be, like I said, we're getting $10 million for phase one, $11 million, almost $11 million for phase one. For us to get another $11 million for phase two, you remember this 5-year plan only has $17.5 million in it each year. And a good bit of that has to go to routine maintenance. And then you've got 40 schools out there wanting to have a piece of that. So to think that North Augusta would get $10 million every year until all that's finished is unrealistic, because other schools have needs as great as ours are. If we got $10 million every 5 years, then just take the number of stages there are and multiply it by 5, and that tells you how many years we would be waiting. The thing that, and I'm going to throw it open to questions for both Peace Park and for this, and this is where we need you to say, hey, boy, you guys should have screwed your heads on a little bit better now and studied this thing. What we could use is, if this looks feasible to you, when we go to meet with the delegation, it never hurts to have some interested citizens come along and nod their heads and say, yeah. Those folks listen to y'all as private citizens. We have had private citizens go to the delegation and tell them how terrible the school district is, how they're not doing a single thing right, how not one kid in the whole county is not getting an education, and blah, 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 so on. We have folks go and tell them that. It wouldn't hurt to have some folks come along with us and say, hey, please give this some serious consideration. If they say, yes, we'll get the legislation changed, that doesn't mean they're approving the 1 cent sales tax. They're just approving giving the voters a chance to vote on it. It would still have to go to the voters. So all we're going to ask them is give us a chance to get on the ballot and see what the voters have to say. Okay, with that, it's y'all's turn.